Okay, first up we have MOBA, Massive Online Battle Arena. These are games where usually 5 people on opposite sides try to defend their biggest building, which is at the center, and destroy their opponent's biggest building. You and your team get to choose one character each amongst hundreds of different characters who have their own unique sets of skills and abilities, and you pick them based on how well you synchronize with each other, how effective it is against the other team, how much they turn you on, or by how broken they are. This is the type of game where you usually spend hundreds of hours just to understand what the hell is going on.
Disaster! Vacuum in! Ravage on everyone! The black hole as well! Light of heaven turns it around! Ravage as well! Stolen by Deadly! Are you kidding me?
How to dodge. How not to miss. How to master just one hero. And how to counter that one hero. Did I mention that there are hundreds of them? All that for you to not even reach Divine. And put the blame on everyone because it's never your fault, and of course the matchmaking is trash. Like, seriously, it is trash. But with that being said, it's a fun way to not touch grass. That is, if you're good at it. If not, you better mute your entire PC because the trash talking is
legendary!
Okay, next up, shooting games. There are so many genres and games revolving around blowing heads off that it deserves its own video, so I'm going to try and lump them all together. Starting off with FPS, first-person shooter. As the name suggests, you get the first-person perspective of gunning down your opponents or getting teabagged. If you want to become a professional in this genre, you need to have excellent hearing, lightning-fast reflexes, strategic gameplay, but most importantly, you need to mute the entire freaking lobby unless you want to become a professional trash talker and master the arts of racism.
Oh, what? You're live on Twitch?
Okay, anyways, in the old days we had games like Counter-Strike, Doom, Halo, Call of Duty, where guns acted more like laser beams because recoil wasn't a thing. Scratch that, physics wasn't even discovered. Like, you could literally carry more freaking weapons than Arnold from Commando. Your head could get blown off, but you can still fight like Whitebeard. And on top of that, you could heal yourself to the maximum HP faster than Wolverine. It's like Jesus himself came down from heaven and gave you all these medkits. So yeah, after a few years of the players wanted the games to be a bit more realistic. So yeah, now you die instantly. You're unable to carry more than 2 weapons, recoil was added, physics was still questionable. But overall, the games were grounded in reality till Fortnite and Overwatch came along. Which brings us to Battle Royale. Ah yes, a very fun and simple concept that probably everyone thought about, including Mr. Beast. 100 people on an island trying to kill, survive, and be the last man or group standing. And also the unique thing about these shooting games is that they give you the third-person perspective instead of the usual first-person. And you might be asking why? The answer is quite simple. The developers just figured out that they could sell you even more cosmetics this way, which is funny because these games revolve around you trying your best not to get spotted. You can look behind while facing forward, you can see what's in front of you by just dragging your face across the wall, and you can see your ass cheeks. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention this, but not everything is going to be accurate because every genre of games will share some similarities with other genres. So with that being said, don't take things too seriously, and yeah, please do subscribe. Okay, next up, role-playing games. There are a ton of subgenres even for this, but in short, these are games that make you play as the main character in a story, which is basically the equivalent of getting isekai'd into a different world. And just like in isekai, you go from an unattractive average person to a badass 7 feet tall god slayer with huge muscles and a beard. But also just like in isekai, a good chunk of them have garbage stories. There are obviously going to be good ones, but in the end it doesn't really matter because you're gonna skip through all the dialogues anyway. Anyways, you get to experience a fantastical or not so fantastical open world where you can spend most of your time exploring, doing dungeons, beating bosses, completing missions, jobs, getting stronger and improving your stats. Basically all the things that you need to be doing in your real life, except for the part where you beat your boss. Okay, next up, fighting games. This is a simple one. The goal here is just to simply unga bunga your way into victory. beat the ever-living crap out of them, land as many blows as freaking possible, throw the kitchen sink at them if you have to, or a whale if you can. And just like everything on this list, there are a ton of subgenres even under this, like 2D, 3D, anime, crossovers, 2D and 3D with storyline. In short, everyone is throwing hands. Okay, next up we have hidden objects. We've all heard the phrase it's like trying to find a needle in a septic tank. Well yeah, that's the premise of this game. You are tasked to find certain objects on the screen, which doesn't seem that difficult until you open your eyes. Lo and behold, the visual representation of epileptic seizure, an AI-generated image, if AI was on LSD, the dream that you are trying to remember, the shit you see while you're on acid. Okay, I'm getting a bit too far here. Basically, these are the type of games that make you stare at the screen for hours on end and making you click on everything. Real-time strategy. In this type of game, you build a base, a civilization, an army, and then go raid and pillage other people's civilization. There are a plethora of races you can choose, ranging from the uglies to the not-so-uglies, normal human beings to straight-up intergalactic aliens. This genre of games are not as popular these days, like the only ones who play this are Putin, Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un, basically every world leader. Okay, next up, turn-based. Basically chess or Pokemon or other variations of this too. You need to know the opponent's weakness, how to counter them, make predictions, get lucky, or just like in every other game, use the most broken character before they get banned or nerfed. The endless runner. You run a never-ending marathon collecting shit, and once you've collected enough shit, you go and buy characters to make them run the endless marathon and collect even more shit. Musical and rhythm games. Basically the Dance revolution but without the cardio. You have to click, press and drag the keys that appear on the screen while having copyrighted music playing in the background. And this doesn't actually teach you how to play any instrument even though it may look like it does. So it's actually better to just grab an actual instrument. Horror games. This is a simple one. You get isekai'd into the horror genre. It uses the same formula used in every horror movie, which is tension, suspense, jump scare. But you see, it's even more effective because you're the one in control and it's you they're after. It's a very fun and thrilling game. You get to face your fears and in turn add hair to your chest, and you can also identify what kind of character you'd be in an actual horror plot, depending on how quick you die, how often you die, and how much of a bitch you can be. And more often than not, you'd be the one that everyone makes fun of for dying in the most stupid way. Okay, next up, racing games. Go north as fast as possible while avoiding obstacles. Platform games. Go east as fast as possible while avoiding obstacles. Okay, next up, sports. This genre only exists because the devs figured out how dumb the customers are, buying the same reskinned package of the same game over and over and over and over again. Like, go outside and play the actual sport for crying out loud. Okay, next up, simulation games. A very hard to define genre of game because almost every game is kind of a simulation, but the most popular definition that I found is that it's a job. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. It's like straight up a job. And it's not like the job involves killing goblins, saving people. No, I kid you not. The job involves cleaning, farming, lawn mowing, fishing, selling drugs. Maybe I should give it a try. Okay, so the last one on the list is puzzle games. You activate the neurons in your brain to solve problems, find answers, and create solutions. The more puzzles you complete and how quickly you complete them slowly get to your head and make you feel like you're the next Einstein. Either that or you go unga bunga or use the internet. Okay, with that being said, this is the end of this video. I would really like it if you would, like, comment, and subscribe. Especially subscribe. And yeah, that's it.